Go. All right, so we are following the steps that start here about winding the bobbin. Turn the power switch on, place the empty bobbin on the bobbin winder spindle. So for the Bernina, I'm using a metal bobbin and placing it on the bobbin winder spindle. I am then going to put my thread onto my spool pin. Okay, so that's right here. And I'm going to cover the spool of thread with the spool cap just to help keep the thread in place. Now, following the instructions in the book, it says follow the directions of the arrow, take thread through the rear guide and round the pre-tension stud to wind the bobbin. So there is a diagram in the book, and I'm just going to follow those steps here. So I'm going to take the thread. There's a little hook, follow my fingers. There's a little hook behind here. So I'm going to take the thread behind that hook. Then I'm going to follow this around here. Okay, make sure that that's nice and tight in there. And then I'm going to wind it all the way completely around. Then I'm going to wind it around the bobbin. I'm going to wind the thread 2 to 3 times around the empty bobbin. And then I'm going to press the engaging lever against the bobbin. So this little piece right here, if you've ever noticed your machine isn't working, it's because this gets pushed over. When this gets pushed over and I push my foot pedal, it's going to wind the bobbin. When this gets pushed to the right, it means when I push my foot pedal, the needle will go up and down. So I'm going to push this over to the side. I'm going to hold that thread in place until it starts winding, so that the thread gets wound up into the bobbin. And then I'm going to just start going. I'm going to stop after a couple, make sure that piece of thread got wound in there correctly. As you saw, I just had a teeny tiny piece of thread. If your thread was longer, you would want to cut it off before starting that winding process. And then you're going to want to wind the thread onto the bobbin. Because I'm just starting with samples, I'm not going to fill my bobbin completely because I shouldn't need a full bobbin for the sewing samples. So I'll stop right about there. I'm going to push the engaging lever over to the right. I'm going to remove the bobbin, and then I'm going to cut the thread. There's actually a nice little thread cutter right underneath there. So that is how to correctly wind your bobbin. Go ahead and stop.